this right back, Charlie?
Am I live? Of course I'm live. People, Deluded, I'm back again. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. I hope you're all in good spirits. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night where you lot are concerned and wherever you are around the world. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Hope Monday was blessed for everyone. Hope everyone started this week aggressively pursuing their goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, and aspirations, overcoming hardships, staying healthy, all of those things. And I wish you lot the best. Sorry, people, but actually, I'm still here. I'm just having some problems signing into my damn Twitch. The fuck? Why everything reset here? But sign me back in, man. I want to this. Sorry, folks. Don't know that. Okay, well, I can't sign into my Twitch at this moment in time. So what I'm gonna have to do is get my other laptop, which is signed in. What the hell's going on? I think I can't even verify if I'm live via Twitch at this moment in time, people. That's how crazy it is. Hopefully, we're gonna have to make do. So yeah, obviously Arsenal have been linked with Richarilson. Kieran Tierney's given a statement. When I say given a statement, he ain't no snitch, but he's detailed his injury and what happened to him, obviously costing him the best part of the season, where obviously maybe if we had Tomiyasu, Partey, and to go with Tierney fit, we might be talking about the champions, but this is all ifs, buts, maybes. We can't deal with these eventualities. We can only face reality, and the reality is he has a terrible injury record. Obviously, we've been linked with Aaron Hickey. One love, Twitch gang. One love. I just can't see you lot in a sense of I can see you lot obviously on screen, but well, you know how basically I can see it all calm on my end, really, and see like what's going on and the health of the stream and all of that. Basically, stream manager. So as I can see, I'm in it now. Like I can see myself on it now. Obviously, this laptop's been signed out. So yeah, man, it is what it is. So I can see you lot. I'll just leave that laptop here every now and again, man. I have to press some buttons there, people. So I'm not a weirdo if you see me leaning over there and whatnot. YouTube gang, hit the like button. If you're on Twitch, make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed on Twitch. As usual, appreciative to all the support you lot give me across all my content. You know, Twitch gang, we played Football Manager yesterday, whether it's FM, whether it's 10 a.m.s. I know I weren't there today, had things to do. Transfer news. Obviously, a promise is a promise. By the end of the week, we will review the season and all of those sort of things, people. And I'll, player of the month, player of the season, better yet, most improved player of the season, underperformer. I'll have my talking points for you. What went right this season, what went wrong. On that topic as well, I don't want to talk too much, car. It's not confirmed yet. But obviously, I've got an interview with someone, not a footballer, no one like that, but I've done it. I've done something with them before, and tomorrow I think we're scheduled to do that at 11, so that will be out in due course. And it obviously follows what I've done with Big Up Art DeRoche. Obviously, he was here yesterday. Shout out Freddie Paxton. It's one of them sort of things, and with that person in particular, I'll talk about the season. We'll cover some of the transfers and things like that. So we might see the 11:30 probably going to be delayed tomorrow. 10 a.m. probably not going to be a thing tomorrow as well, just because I've got to give or take and whatnot, people. So yeah, big up you lot. We'll get into the transfers in a second. Man said lunch break settings. Big up DJ in the nation. Shout yourself, Omar Ross. Come on, my guy. Appreciative to all of you lot. Man said, I just want a player in by the end of June, to be honest, DJ. You're not asking for much, my dude. You're not alone. I would like a player in for pre-season, so they can adapt to Arteta's tactics, the teammates, etc., etc. I just hope that we, A, sign the right players, and 2, we know it sounds stupid, but not so much last year. It's almost like we sign players. When I look at Lacazette, to a degree, Granit Xhaka, definitely Nicolas Pepe. It's like we sign a guy and then we work it out later, innit? Like, he's a good footballer. Let's sign him. Let's work it out later. Like with Mesut Ozil, like with United and Pogba, etc., etc. It's like we're buying players and we don't know how to use them, which last season, all right, cool. I don't quite think that's a thing. You could see why Ben White was signed. Maybe not 50 million, maybe not a 50 million pound defender, but you could see why he was signed in terms of ball playing, etc., etc. Tomiyasu, we needed a right back. Ramsdale, we needed a goalie. Again, you get it in it, people. Maybe, you know, last summer we tried aggressively for a striker. That kind of cost us. We didn't get a midfielder. So how much of a rebuild and structure change have you done without literally, you know, the midfield? If we was using foundation, surely the midfield, if it was a house, would be literally the beams, the foundation of the house. If that's not 30, then, you know, it might stay up or not, depending on how good the materials are. Not that I know much about building. Smash the like button if you can, people. No clue why it's put it in the entertainment bit. It's a weird ass flex, don't you think, YouTube? It's meant to be in the sport category. Yeah, it is. Everything's cushy. So yeah, man, it is what it is, people. Come on. I mean, Richarilson, you know, I don't know where I'm at with Richarilson personally. It's how I feel a bit like Gab Jesus. Now, obviously, I think Richarilson, like Gab Jesus, is a good player. But when you're looking at the aspect of goal scoring, I can't lie. Richarilson is like these new age Brazilian dons where they're not obviously I'm only 27, but they're not the Brazilian dons I grew up on watching, in it. The poetry, emotion, the samba skills, the trickery, and that. Sometimes I look at like Richarilson, it's a bit like Gab Jesus. Sometimes I look at these guys and I'm thinking, you're actually good, and I think there's something else to him. I mean, you know, again, we have to give Richarilson a bit of benefit of the doubt. You know, they did fail last season. Everyone at Everton or connected with Everton didn't do the business, but he is only 25. You know, he does have a decent record for Brazil. 10 goals in 30 in the league last year. If he's part of the squad, I wouldn't say no to that. Like, if we were to buy a striker from Everton, it would be Richarilson. I'd prefer that than Dominic Calvert-Lewin, if I'm honest with you. Obviously, he can play a number of roles. One thing I like about Richarilson, again, he's got one thing that if I was making my ideal striker for Arsenal Football Club, obviously goals are one thing. Man have to score goals for all the link-up play, all that jazz. Goals. Like, I would say goals. Obviously, the obvious goals, link up play, you know, being able to make it, you know, quick, being able to make runs off the shoulders, variety in runs. And I would say, if I could, I would say hold up play. I think Eddie's improved in that, not physically there all the way yet. I'd say that's one big thing Lacazette used to do when he had his time to shine. I do think when I look at games like Newcastle away, obviously, you know, there's many reasons as to why that went wrong. I don't really feel there's a purpose to us playing out from the back. You know, our midfielders didn't want it in that game while kicking the ball long into the channels. They're prepared to deal with that. There's only so many times Bukayo Saka is going to win that. And I do think games like that where we're up against it, I feel someone like Richarilson, who's good with his back to goal, earn little fouls, physically can put himself about. I could get behind it. When I look at Richarilson, he's raw, man, and he's been raw for a number of years. If Mikel Arteta can mold it, craft it, and craft him and mold him and whatnot, and make him a decent sort of player and iron out those edges, fair play. The problem is we've got to remember we need to get 3 points. You know, that's the business of the Premier League, and we've got a lot of projects. You know, it's probably unrealistic. You know, how much can you really develop Richarilson, Gab Jesus, Eddie Nketiah, Tavares, Lokonga, keep developing Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, and there's many around the squad. Martin Odegaard. There's not a single player that is the finished article. That's why we're recruiting them in it. We're getting them before they do that. But one has to wonder, if you've got a 25-man squad filled with players like this, without saying the obvious, you know, El Nene, Xhaka, etc., people that are Partey, people that are exceptions to the rules, how much are you going to develop them? Now, it is what it is. Richarilson, wasn't he linked with PSG and Barcelona, similar to us? Didn't PSG or Barca offer something crazy for Richarilson, like when Barca made an offer for Bellerin, and we didn't elect to take it for whatever reason? We let ourselves down in that regard. Sorry, folks. Obviously, I have to use this laptop to pre-Twitch and what's going on in this Twitch business. So yeah, man, just making sure everything makes sense. So it is what it is, man. I wouldn't say no to it, but I'm not necessarily ecstatic. I don't buy the Richarilson links. You know, he's probably going to get priced out of a move to us anyways. I don't see us spending 35 to 50 million on Gab Jesus. I'm just saying loose figures that have been linked with him. You know, there's that. There's talk of bringing in Aaron Hickey as a fullback. There's obviously talk of other things. And then how much are they going to ask for Richarilson? You know, looking at his wages, I mean, is, to be fair, contracted until 2024. Probably got an option there. I wouldn't mind it. And then looking at Richarilson in 152 appearances for Everton, he's got 53 goals, 14 assists. Obviously, he only got 5 goals at Watford in 41 for all the hype he was getting. In the Premier League, he's got 48 goals in 173. So it's not really prolific. There is a bit of an ability there, but it's not been prolific. And to be honest with you, I'm looking at his statistics, people. You know, the last time, well, he does the Lacazette thing really, where he goes through droughts of not scoring. Like at some point in the season, there was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He went 9 weeks without scoring, then bagged the brace, then didn't score the next week, then scored against Leicester, then didn't score against Liverpool, then bagged against Chelsea, then went on a little bit of a break, and he did get 2 goals towards the end of the season. So there is something in him. He's not shit. That's 100%. There's a decent player, but yeah, man, I'm not too sure. You know, again, it would give us a wealth of options. But again, when you start painting the picture and you look at, okay, Europa League, trying to get top 4, you know, go as far as you can in the domestic cups, well, in every cup, really and truly. Richarilson, who once again, how many goals does he have on his name in the Premier League? He's got 48 goals. Again, where's my, let's get calculator out, man. Online calculator, because my maths, don't know how I passed it. But yeah, how many goals have you got? In the league, specific to the league, Richarilson, you've got 48, right? Okay, cool. I'm sure Eddie Nketiah has 10 Premier League goals to his name. You know, not to get at him, that's just a fact, isn't it? That's what you got to your name, really. 5 of them were scored this season. Where's good old transfer mark? How many has he got? Let me actually check that. Because again, this is where the numbers have to be made up. Yeah, he's got 10 goals to his name, so that's 58 now, plus 10. You know, we're now at 58. How much does Gab Jesus have? I'm so sure he's got 58 Premier League goals to his name. And again, discount because we're assuming they're all going to play. Not everybody can play and whatnot. Yeah, Gab Jesus in 159 appearances has 58 goals to his name. So 58. Just so on that. Yeah, it was 58. So 58 times 2, really. 116 goals in the Premier League between all 3 of those players, and again, that's when you discount the amount of appearances they've made in the league. Now, Richarilson has played 173 times in the Premier League. Gab Jesus has played 159 times, and obviously Eddie Nketiah, I don't even know how much you've played really, but you get the point. You're touching over 300 odd games, and there's only 100 goals between them, so it's not really that. It gives us a wealth of options. Of course, if Richarilson could develop the asset of scoring to go with Eddie Nketiah, and obviously to go with Richarilson together with the young players dotted around the team, you know, Odegaard got 7 in the league last year. You know, I don't see it as too unrealistic. His aim for the season should always be 10 and 10. That I'm looking at 10 and 10 from you. You know, Odegaard, if you can, 10 goals, 10 assists. Smith Rowe, 10 goals, 10 assists. Martinelli, 10 goals, 10 assists. Saka, 10 goals, 10 assists. Any winger that arrives at this club. Striker is a bit different. Eddie Nketiah, I would say, if you're second fiddle, I need 10 goals in the Premier League minimum. I don't think that's unrealistic. Obviously, aspire to do more. And the main striker that comes in this team, for me, 20 league goals, but I'll discount it a bit. If they're not getting 15 league goals minimum, and again, for me, 20, there's no point bringing people into this football club. So you're kind of betting on a lot on potential to do a lot, and that's all great. But when it comes to the latter stages, as we've seen in the Premier League this year, when you get to the latter stages by God's grace of the Europa League, of the FA Cup, of the League Cup, and you need some confirmation, I don't know if these players necessarily are going to provide that, people. So it's an interesting way of looking at things. It all depends how you look at it, man. I'm airing you lot. I'm being very disrespectful. Sorry, people. Again, no, you lot are being disrespectful. Close to 200 of you locked in, and there's only 58 likes. You lot are buying it. You lot are buying it. You lot are buying it. Some days you love me, some days you hate me, but it's cool. It's cool. Stay alive for the content creator. It's cool. It's cool. Don't bread. But yeah, let me see what you lot are saying, man. I'm buying you lot, man. Speech over. We'll get into the transfer links in a bit. But yeah, man, one love. What would you rate the window of Hickey, Zinchenko, TIELEMANS, Lynette, Jesus? Discount Lynette, leave that alone, man. I don't think we should be looking to bring that to the carpet, if I'm honest with you. But out of all of them, all right, cool. Let's start with Lynette. I don't think he's bad. I definitely think his stock has taken a hit, but it's a bit shaky, really and truly. Arteta did say he wanted the left-sided centre-back. So, you know, if you ask for a PlayStation for Christmas, your mum gives you a PlayStation, it's calm, innit? So, all right, if you wanted that, Jesus. A 6, if it just gone on them names, 6, 7. All right, 6 is being harsh. Arsenal tax, I'd say a 7, but I feel like I'm forcing the 7. Obviously, I'd be happy with Zinchenko. That's someone that can play midfield as well as obviously left back if Tierney gets bodied. Aaron Hickey again, left back, right back cover, makes me feel a bit easy with Tomiyasu again, strengthens the left hand side. TIELEMANS, I don't feel he excels us to another level, but I think he's a and I think he's got a lot of problems, but I think he could add a lot, and especially if we're moving to a flat 4-3-3 sort of thing. The amount of goals, but I do like what you could give to our team. Out of all of them, less convinced on Lynette. I'd say for me it'd probably be a 6, but DG harsh tax, I'd say a 7, but I don't really feel there's a player there that takes us to the next level. And obviously, we need to make them smart additions, grab a couple of in isolation. Not Richarilson, Robertson, and these sort of guys didn't take Liverpool to the next level per se. But when you added them all together, they kind of did really and truly. So we need to kind of do that. So that could be of the same logic. But I wouldn't understand the Lynette one beyond his ability to play on the left-hand side. And Arteta's fixated on that. You know, we've got Saliba coming back allegedly, and you've got the 2 young lads. I would be open to another centre-back, as I said, but I'd rather go, not that I know any, could you go for a lesser name that improves us, less or the right-hand side? So, yeah, I'd say 7. I don't really feel there's someone that makes me think, oof, yeah. I'd be, you know, TIELEMANS and Zinchenko as midfield options to go with Partey and things like that makes me feel a lot better, but I'd say a 6 for me, maybe a 7 if I'm coming across as harsh, really and truly. And again, it would be interesting to see how they're all used, because obviously for Jesus, I'll be looking at that. Are you going to score the necessary amount of goals? TIELEMANS, are you going to enhance the things you're good at and, you know, defensively improve? Which, again, we need to know the man's weaknesses and what we're going to do with him. Aaron Hickey, again, he's 19 years of age, 20 years of age. He's a young man. There's a lot of bad habits he's probably picked up. There's a lot of bad habits he's probably got due to age. There's probably a lot of good habits he's picked up in Italy. Probably unlikely to expect him to just sign and then bang straight away, in it really, as much as he's got potential and things. You'd have to give him time and develop and things. So it would be a good window if that happens, but whether that does happen is another thing. Richarilson thoughts. I never spell Zinchenko, you know. Don't know why I keep putting a Y in there. But yeah, that starts us off very well, man. Good timestamps. Good timestamps, man. Big up my guy, Mac Artist. As he said, big up everyone. Smash the like button from early. Come on. Big up DG and the man. Then bring Richarilson to the carpet. I mean, we could do a lot. Shout Broccoli Gooner, man. I don't know why it's not bringing up your comment, but he said, salute. Big up the nation. Hit them likes or your girl going to be bed jumping in the summer. Hey. I mean, anything to get them done. But yeah, man. Realistically, you see Gnabry coming back home or I guess for nothing. I don't see him. If I had to bet money, I wouldn't bet, but I wouldn't bet on Gnabry returning. But, you know, the dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. No to Richarilson for me, but I was saying no to Nketiah a few months ago. So what the hell do I know? I hear it. It's a bit like all of us. Richarilson ain't the one. His attitude alone puts me off. I hear you, but when we say this attitude thing, can we be specific, very specific with what we are saying? Like, because again, that attitude thing is thrown around a lot. It all depends. Because for me, I think about attitude can be a good thing, you know. Players with a chip on their shoulder, I want them. Vieira had a chip on his shoulder. Henry had a chip on his shoulder. You know, Cristiano Ronaldo has a chip on his shoulder. You know, all the wavy players have chips on their shoulders. As long as they channel it in the right way, it is what it is. Richarlison's a bit of a shithousery, so I like him. Shithousery specialist, so I like him. He's always trying to piss off Liverpool fans. Pardon my French. I don't know for his attitude. Does he seem someone that's on down in tools? Yeah, I could see. You know, he done it at Watford, probably doing it at Everton. If he signed for Arsenal, and I don't know, he developed into a stage where the bigger, I say bigger to be nice to us, but the bigger European clubs are looking at him. He might do the same, but this is the reality. Way too late to sign Zaka. It's just man said Zaka Zaha, crazy. Tierney usually plays left centre back for Scotland in a back three. DG, do you see as a potential problem that Tierney and Hickey are both playing for Scotland's left back position? Not really, because you got Robertson. As my guy B said there, Tierney can move around. Hickey can play right back. You know, give the manager problems, really and truly. Bring a next flying Scotsman to the chat. Why are Football London forcing Frankie de Jong to Arsenal links? I don't know, but fuck all of that. Had to like up on YouTube and switch to Twitch. Come on. Richarilson got 10 league goals for the first time in his career. Again, that's rubbed. that's rubbed. And admittedly, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that really. I just see he's got 10. Because again, I can't lie, statistics aren't anything, but I remember Richarilson got a lot of hype at Watford, a lot of hype, and goals are not everything. But 5 goals. Literally, again, it might be a lie. But yeah, confirmed, 5 goals. How many in the league did you bag for Watford? For all the hype that you was getting, and what's got you to move? Bro. Yeah, you scored 5. Okay, you scored 5 and 38 for Watford. Again, just so you know, I'm not just making this ish up, people. I'm literally looking at his statistics. Obviously, big up G1. Oh, G1, it might be a VAR thing, you know. I don't know. That might not be right, you know. You're being a bit unfair to him, you know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that because he got 10 this year. He dropped to 13 in 18, 19, and then 19, 20. Bit unfair to the lad. Bit unfair there, but 66 goals and 239 appearances. Yeah, he can play off the left, up front, and on the wing. I mean, there's something to work with. Again, he's like gap position that you think there's a player in there, and then you're not quite sure. And some games they look like they could do a thing. The next week, you're looking at them like they're shaky. I don't know, man. They're fully them new age youths, man. I don't know for them. 91 likes, keep going, people. Keep going. Keep going. So I don't know, man. Everton really need the money, so they would be willing to negotiate. Again, forgive me if I'm ignorant, but is their financial situation appalling or something? Surely it's not sustainable when you're spending 50 million on Sigurdsson and however much on Dele Alli and Iwobi and just bare duds, really. Arsenal need a proper bagsman. Richarilson is a winger/striker. We do, but what bagsmen are out there, though, man? Big up DG every morning without fail. Bring the news. Appreciative. How much would you pay for Richarilson? 40, 50? 35 to 50 million, I think, is a fair price. You know, 50 million rising to add-ons, wouldn't really be trying to play that. I like him, but when I look at it without emotion and Brazilian bias, what am I paying for? Yeah, you know, you can work the channels, you can win fouls, you like to dive, you're a shithousery. You know, I do think you've got some ability, but what am I paying for, really? Like, what's the standout, really, with Richarilson? If his name was Richard Allen, you know, I don't think I'm sitting here gassing it up, if I'm honest with you. But it is what it is. Now put the Sky. Now Sky put that graphic up. Nev 13, round it down, and it's still 10. He should be averaging 15 goals. Should score a lot more, but maybe we'll give him that tax if he was to join a team that creates more. Could he score more? I don't know. We need some attitude. What happens to Martinelli? If you listen, nothing happens to Martinelli. Like, you can play off the left. I know Arsenal fans tried it, but you can play off the right. He can be earmarked up front, bro. Just make sure you're doing your thing, and you know you can play games. Simple as that. Butcher Bear Don's names, man. Just like you butchered the statistics. That's why we're in the right place, man. Gabriel has this for me. Think he's got more to his game. Richarilson is a lot less of a gamble compared to Gakpo. Is it? Because I don't know. I don't know with that, really, because 50 million, I don't know what I'm going to get with Richarilson. That Gakpo, you probably a similar fee or cheaper. I don't know what I'm going to get. And there's injury issues, allegedly. I don't know, man. I don't know. What have you said here? Richarilson transferred to fellow Premier League club Everton on the 24th of July 2018 for a transfer starting at 35 and potentially rising to 50. Well, there you have it. For me, I'm trying to give them their bread back, and they're not going to have it there. True say, Richard Allen would have added the British tax. He would have probably been 100 mil. I'd rather just do the gap assisting than really. I'm not against taking Richarilson, but I'd rather do the gap assisting and try something else, bring something else in. Try maybe if Arteta is fixated on someone with Richarlison's skill set or profile of a player, maybe going and find someone that can do that. And Mackie, this is why you're my guy. Like he said, we need a villain in the squad. One of them dons other teams hate playing against. Trust me. You know, I look at, who would you say? I'd say Kane's indirectly one. He's a bit of a bastard. I'd say Robertson's definitely one. Trent's definitely one. There's a couple of them still. We need that still. DG, do you think football is shifting from a player playing a rigid angle position to playing multiple positions? Yeah, it's all about being able to play everywhere, but you're not a master of one, really. You know, if we look at how it's going to end up. Like I think Smith Rowe should look at Grealish as a somewhat guide point, but I don't know if I don't. So what's going on here? So I'm trying to make a timestamp. Yeah, as I was saying, I don't know if Smith Rowe's going to end up as an 8, a 10, or a left-sided winger. You know, again, you look at Martial. Is he striker, winger? Rashford, is he striker or winger? You know, Hudson-Odoi, what is he? Martinelli, are you going to be a striker or a winger? Again, Richarilson, are you a striker or a winger? Gab Jesus, are you a striker or a winger? You know, Kylian Mbappe, for me, is a striker, but he can play off the left. Is he striker or a winger? This is what football is about. It's bare multifunctional dons that are not necessarily bad at any of them, but they're not exactly great. Like, you're not a striker first, able to play out wide. You're everything. Obviously, you have scenarios where you might have a Mane who's solidified himself as off that left, off that right, and done quite well as a false nine for Liverpool. But generally, everybody can play everywhere. You don't really know what everybody is, really. I think that's a byproduct of the game, really and truly. I think that's where football's gone, if I'm honest with you. So yeah, man. Arteta don't like them dons. Guendouzi's a prime example. To be fair, he was starting Guendouzi initially. He got to play against City. He couldn't behave himself in Dubai. Got dealt with, innit? Not that I agree with it. I think the Don should be at the club. But that's what happened, innit? Really. That's literally what happened to my man. Couldn't behave himself, got clipped. I don't agree with it, you know. Again, me, I was Guendouzi FC. I think we need a bit more of that fight and hunger and desire. And obviously, I love the midfielders that we brought in the summer. They're wavy and that. But right now, I don't think you look better. Different positions, but I don't think you look better than Guendouzi at this moment in time. You generally don't have the mentality there yet. So yeah, man, the number 10's dead, bro. Like, the number 10 position's dead. It's adapt or survive. If you're not on running about, run up and down, it's a myth, you know. Or if the poetry and motion players are not there. DG, we be doing a watch along for the NBA final. Shout my guy Rants. You got to shout Rants for that. Hi DG, what's happening with Basuba's case, man? Andrew, big up yourself. I'm not his lawyer, you know. Like, I don't know. Like, he needs to clear his name, is what I will say. Crazy, man. Yeah, Austin Spurs better be bringing some trophies. I don't know for Basuma's case. If you know, go and deal with that, and then I'm sure your transfer can take place. If you're guilty, you know what deserves to happen. If you're innocent, fair enough. You know, we can entertain signing him. Provided he is innocent, I'm taking Basuma. If not, wait, but yeah, you're gonna have to take that up with the necessary parties, bro. I'm not. It's like, I don't know what I'm going for his thing. He needs to sort himself out, really. Like, you have to take that up with Basuma, or one of his nearest and dearest, really. The streets are saying he bust case. I don't know what I'm going for stuff. Don't get me wrong, I like Odegaard, but would you have Bruno Fernandes over Martin Odegaard? Who's that? Who's Bruno? No, I'm be respectful to me. I like Bruno. I know he frustrates the hell out of a lot of United fans, but no, I'm not taking Bruno over Odegaard. I do like how I know United fans are peed off with Bruno. He loses the ball. He tries to spam ting and whatnot. But as an Arsenal fan, I am a bit jealous of midfielders who get numbers, you know. Who obviously get numbers. He gets that, but I don't think I'd swap him for Odegaard without a doubt. I'm keeping Martin where he is, but I would like him to get numbers. Bruno is one of them, you know, I feel how he started his United career was on fire, really and truly, and he gets goals, man. Like I saw the other day, obviously Champions League, it don't mean anything, but ain't he technically one of the top assisters or goal scorers in the Champions League? Get onto them, G1. Like you said, 106 likes, 320 in here. Get the likes up. To be fair, yeah, I'm not swapping him. What, Bruno got 10 goals, 16 assists. I mean, I think people have to put respect on his name a bit. You know, that's a decent number for a midfielder, but you know, I always get onto Odegaard for needing to score a bit more, and I think he can score a bit more regardless. But, you know, you got 7 in 36 appearances, you got 7 and 4. The assist needs to improve. But I definitely didn't think he had 7 goals, and I definitely think you could have scored more. You could have had at least, you know what, Saka a couple of times has cost you wavy assists, and so has Eddie Nketiah. But yeah, 23 years of age. How old is Bruno? A couple of years older. I like Bruno, but yeah, I wouldn't necessarily swap him for. In fact, no, I wouldn't swap him. Unless Bruno does a Mazza. The thing is, if Bruno learned a bit of ball retention, he'd be wavy, but that's right. So we should buy Ruben Neves. Yeah, he was top assister. Yeah, he's bravey, bro. He's brazy. He's brazy. Obviously, I probably have to, if I quantified who are you scoring these goals against and whatnot, but you can't deny with facts. He did his thing, man. How many transfers do you think we can realistically expect, assuming average quality raising signings, average 35 to 50 million? Would you say 3, 4? Honest to God, I don't know, man. I think prior to a few weeks ago, I thought we might grab 2 strikers, regardless of if Eddie stays or goes. But if I had to make an educated guess, again, I don't know. I don't work for the club, but I assume a striker arrives. I assume 1 centre mid arrives. I assume a left-sided, either you're able to play left and right, or you're able to just play as a left back, or you can fill in at left back like Zinchenko. I'd be amazed. I think someone of that ilk arrives. So I'd say probably 3 signings, maybe 4, really. I don't see everything happening. Maybe we get a striker and a winger to kind of, as we said, offset the numbers, because as much as I want Eddie, you know, I'm intrigued to see Eddie's development. I am here for signing gappers. The man don't have a catalogue of goals. Goals win games. A big part of our issue last season was an inability to score goals, really and truly. So it's one of them ones. So probably 3, 4. I don't think we're going to sign a backup right back. You hear Arteta wants a centre half. I don't know whether that's going to happen or not happen. Don't even know if a left back is confirmed, even though I think it should be. You know, don't know what's going to happen with Tavares, really. Don't know how much selling players impacts bringing in players. Don't think we signed 2 strikers now. Again, I think it's Jesus, Eddie, new number, a new signing word to Wenger, and then that's that done, man. Really. So yeah, probably 3, 4. There might be a couple of squad options, but it all depends because it's quality over quantity. If you bring me 3, 4 man, or you bring 4 signings and 3 of them take us up, like that striker is getting 15, 20. That midfielder is you know, doing everything we wanted out of a number 8. If that left back is fighting with a spot for Tierney, or you know, keeping Tierney out the squad, I'm cool with that. Really and truly, it's quality. We got to make some quality additions now. I'd take that, but I'd say 3, 4. I don't know though, man. I really don't know. It all depends what Mikel Arteta wants, really and truly. Looks like the new away kit is going to launch on the 20th of July. Mark your calendars, people. I reckon this one is going to sell. I know I'll have the shirt. We're going to be looking wavy in Europa League, mate. That's the thing. But we know Salah, like them man there on the flat track bully thing. Salah, I love Salah, but as a footballer, but when it's time to do this thing, he's not on it, man. He's not on it. Let's be real. Like AFCON final, not on it, bro. There's talent in the championship. You just got to take a chance. Obviously, you get dons like Ben Rama that don't actually set the world alight. But then, you know, you get the little, you know, I think people are hyping Elise in that. Don't get twisted. I'm hyping him as well. But man talking like he's dropped to 10 goals, 10 assists season. He's got potential to be wavy. Let him show that he can do that, really and truly. There's Elise there. Obviously, Bowen's there. There's a couple of, you know, Robertson from relegated Hull who were 5 minutes in the Prem. There's talent out there to grab. They're not all gonna bang. What's that you at Hull? He looks all right. I don't know if anyone's gonna take it. Well, obviously you got Spence, like someone said. What's that you at Hull? Lewis Porter or something like that. You know, Brennan Johnson probably would have got a move if Nottingham Forest didn't get promoted. Whether these guys bang in the Prem is another thing, but you've got to try and be a bit smart, man, really and truly. Ben Rama's wavy, but I wouldn't say he set the world alight. Evidently, like when you think of West Ham, you know Bowen's one of the flag bearers, sort of thing. Ben Rama does his thing, but you get the point. And I'm sure there's plenty of other examples of the championship. Spence is there. He's another one who's, you know, slotted in quite well and will do quite good things. I think people are hyping him a lot, but there's talent to be had there. I think Hudson-Odoi is probably better than Elise, and I don't rate Hudson-Odoi. That's good for Hudson-Odoi. He's got to show and prove it, man. 1 goal in the Prem this season ain't going to do much, man. As you said, it's all about the eye test. I think Elise better than him, but I hear that. We should be going all out for Shamaka. Rumor is West Ham are after him. Apparently, you know, David Ornstein said we're onto him, but he wants to stay in Italy, so there's that. That's where you're at. We're at 125 likes. There's 343 of you locked in on YouTube. Smash the like button. Twitch gang, you're doing fantastic, mate. You lot are actually doing fantastic. I don't even need to check the numbers. You know what I mean? I just know you lot are doing it. So yeah, man, it is where it is. Keep your opinions and that. Brother, Easy is cold. Don't take this as no slander. I just feel fans hype up the thing too much. Like again, one thing I feel in football nowadays is you can have talent, but you need to show and prove really and truly. You know, you need to prove things. Just because you got talent doesn't mean you've done anything. I think Eze, he got shagged by his injury. I think if I was a Palace fan, Eze and Elise, it's wavy, but what have they done? Is Arsenal signing any defenders? I hope so, bro. Apparently, Arteta wants a left-sided centre-back. If you could find a centre-back that, and it's easy for me to say, I ain't got no names, but maybe someone that's not necessarily in their early 20s, maybe someone that's 26, 27, that can be relied upon. Honestly, I'd like a defender that loves to defend, you know. And again, I'm not saying to sign Dan Burn, but we can't. But like a Dan Burn, Dunk, these sort of guys that just, they know what defending's about. They've been in the lower leagues. They love defending. I don't think Arsenal love defend. We don't love defending as a club. He was the last 30 defender that came through our academy, Tony Adams. All the fullbacks that come through, it's accidental thing. Ashley Cole weren't a left back coming through initially. Gibbs weren't, you know. Flipping Ainsley Maitland-Niles accidental. Bellerin, we said come from Barca, become a wing, become a fullback. You're not a winger, you have half a chance. So I would like that until the culture of defending changes at our club, and we love keeping clean sheets as much as we love scoring them. You know, the goal against Southampton, one of the build-up goals against United, and all those things. We can't. You know, we were initially looking a bit better defensively, respecting the art of defending, improving on set pieces towards the tail end of the season. Obviously, that deserted us. So I would like someone that's a bit of an exception to the rule. Someone that, because there's been times, Gabriel, I think how Gabriel's not up there for one of our player of the seasons is ridiculous. Like it is Saka, but I think it's ridiculous. But there's been times it looks like, oh, you could get pulled out the squad. Ben White, oh, you could get pulled out the squad. You know, Saliba comes though. Man, are not gonna. None of these centre backs at our club are gonna be wavy for 38 games. They ain't earned that territory. So yeah, man. Who's that? The Sheffield United, the Canadian brother. I don't really rate him, but there'll be a time where I might change my opinion. I don't really rate him. Would you prefer Odegaard playing as a 10 or an 8? I think he could learn to play as an 8. I think from Odegaard, I want to see you improve physically. You need to get numbers. As I said, you got 7 and 4 in the league. Can you get 10-10? I don't think he'll ever be Santi Cazorla, and I think he needs to go through some education a lot, but I think that sort of Santi thing is what I want to see from Odegaard. You need to run. You've got the ability to run the show for us. The problem is when we ain't got that number 8, and if you demand that of Odegaard, who I don't think's ready, you kind of rob him of playing on the final in between, you know, the opponent's spaces and on the edge of their area and things. How many times like on Twitch, we watched all the goals that we scored last season. How many times, you know, Odegaard and Saka for Arsenal fans, that's an underrated sort of link up, people. So long term, I think you should be playing as an 8. Look at David Silva and Santi as guide points. Right now, probably need you as a 10, really. You know, I think Odegaard's he's in that halfway house, and that he reminds me of, like, when I say Mesut Ozil, like them organic number 10s, and he's almost like that, but at the same time, he kind of gets the modern game. You need to run about, put yourself about, but he's neither none. He's kind of in the middle, so it is what it is. Big up DJ and all the people, DG stuff. Like, come on, man. I don't trust him, so I don't know him. I can't verify him and Matt Turner. They could be the best thing to happen to Arsenal or the worst thing. I can't verify them, so I just disregard them until I see something. Couldn't just brush him off the ball like David Silva or Bernardo Silva. They weren't the strongest in the world, but you couldn't brush them off the ball. That's all I'm asking for. Sometimes I think Odegaard, it's a bit too easy to brush you off that ball. You need to pause. You need to hold on to it a bit. Would you take Talisio? No, in Arsenal, again, his injury record is just going to get worse at the club, so probably not really, you know. This summer, striker, left wing, starting 8 left back since El Nene and Eddie is staying. Season after, right wing to compete with Saka. Backup 8, Xhaka probs leaves. Starting / competing 6 for Partey. Backup, right back, centre back. 150 each window. But yeah. What about Koulibaly? He's going to cost a bag, and he's going to want the bag. And, you know, Napoli are not going to be easy to do business with. Not really what we should be doing for someone that would start in our team. But if we're going for, you know, you get the point, really. We'll get into that. What else are we saying? DG, love from Brum. Love from Brum, mate. Boring. Would you be open to keeping Ainsley? I would, but it's gone stale now, isn't it? Like, Ainsley, I wish you all the best. It's probably time to keep it moving now, really. You know, you're contracted until 2023, could very well sign a deal. And then we've been through this, you know, he's leaving, he has a good game, and then the logic changes, and then you're staying. We go through a few months, the same thing happens again. Like now, man, like it's probably best that, you know, I wish him all the best. I hope we sit here in a few years and say, how did Arsenal let him go? Want him to, you know, get another England call up, win more European trophies, wherever he does. But it's probably best that Arsenal and Ainsley Maitland-Niles close that chapter now. It's been played out now, really. Like we've seen the movie, innit? Like not a number of players. It's like Joe Willock, go and spread your wings and fly, bro. Go and do up Newcastle. Like not everybody has to be here. And I don't know, for Ainsley, boy, Jose defend. If you're gonna bust through in one position, defenders and strikers, or Jose's the guy for you. You ain't get to play. He quickly saw that you're not levels. He clearly, like, now I'm looking at it. Arteta, Jose Mourinho, Sam Allardyce had some comments. They can't all be wrong, you know. Do I think you have some talent? But Ainsley needs to define himself. What midfielder specifically is he? Is he a fullback? Is he a midfielder? If he's a centre mid, what is he? I'm sure some of you are probably saying he's box to box, he's an 8, he's this, he's that. I'm sure he has a guide point, so he needs to go somewhere he can play in midfield or play right back or whatever. To be fair, he did say he'll play anywhere. There has been points this season that I do think Ainsley could have done better than Cedric. There's been times this season where I'd prefer Ainsley at left back to Tavares, if I'm completely honest with you. Tavares is better than him going forward, but I just feel, you know, Ainsley's IQ is good. I'd be open to keeping him around the squad, but we need to get rid of it, really. Like, the love drama thing needs to be done. It's best for him to probably leave to enhance his career, and us, we just keep it moving. Simple as that. Your thoughts on Alwa? Bring him to the carpet, but it seems like he must be bugged, really. Something's got to be wrong with him, really. He's a wing back. Word. Ainsley might as well go Fulham or something. But I'm not being funny, but him, Leno, Torreira, Bellerin, what the fuck do you pay your agents for? Get them to me. You all keep talking about moving. You all probably need to move. At least 2 of those, you know. If you got a World Cup to think about where Torreira and Leno are, and for Leno, you might not even get there. Get your agent to do their jobs. Get your agents to do their jobs. Nunes would be wavy 100%. But the dream is free. Bro, if Jonathan David comes to the Prem, how do you think he would fare? I think he'd struggle. You know, I don't think he's the finished article. You saw in France, there was a point in 2022 he only had 1 goal after starting off quite well. And what was it? Not this season that's just gone. The season before, he had a blistering season. You know, when I watched him against PSG, even the game he scored, forgive me, didn't do much. There was a game he was anonymous. Obviously, being a bit harsh, but I just remember Chelsea versus Leo at Stamford Bridge didn't do anything, and I'm not looking at you to score. Them games there, I'm looking at you to put yourself about and certain things. It's like when we were speaking about Balogun yesterday or the day before, and I said, okay, when I've watched him for Middlesbrough, against United, Chelsea, and Spurs, not done nothing. He ripped Romero, that's about it. You know, they're the games there I'm kind of watching, or Mavropanos against Bayern Munich. When you're struggling there, these are the type of teams you're playing week in, week out. So it's one of them. I think he'd cut his teeth, but I don't think initially he'd you know, put up any fireworks and all of those sort of things. And to be fair to you, Leo asking for 50 million, they're buying it. He might very well become a good player. You never know. Things could change in a year, but 50 million for him is a bit of a zang, really. I mean, if I'm Conor Gallagher, the first 6 months are going to be interesting. You could cost yourself an England place if you're not playing. Tuchel rates him. It seems like there's, you know, Loftus-Cheek, Kante, people might be leaving, so there's an opportunity. If you're going to play the amount of football you want to play at Chelsea is another thing. So we'll have to see, man. I'd be pissed if we let Leno go. I mean, he wants to go. I wouldn't. He wants to go. And to be fair, Leno, you know, he's acted professionally. You're not going to be playing ahead of Ramsdale, whether you like him or not. You know, it is what it is. You're not going to be playing for Germany if you don't play football, because Kevin Trapp, Neuer, and ter Stegen are the guys at this moment. Apparently, Charles Watt said that Leno's already said bye, basically. So that tells you it all. Leno can leave with his head held high, active professional, bit shaky at times, but a good keeper. I would love him to stay as a backup number 2 if he accepted that, but I can't expect him to. You got one career. He's a German international. He was the number 1 here, even though it needed to happen. I felt when he was dropped, because when Ramsdale and all these guys started playing is just after we lost to City. I think that was another case of, obviously Leno's done some dumb shit at times, but there's been numerous times in an Arsenal shirt where we've lost 3-4, 5-0, and without him it could have been a lot worse. I've literally sat here and said, yo, he's actually man of the match. 150 likes. Let's get to 200, please, people. God bless everyone that's hit the like button. Unexpected high bills due if you haven't. So it is what it is. And he's contracted until 2023. Now he's not signing up to be a sideman, you know. Respectfully, German international, all these things, bro. No, no matter what, I'd be looking at Ramsdale funny. If I'm Leno, I'm like, you're not better than me. I shouldn't be on the bench for you. Yeah, you've done your thing at times, but you've done shaky things. You're not better than me. You come from a relegated club. I'm German international. I've been doing this thing. I was playing out from the back when I was using dons like Socrates and things like that. I'm not on it. I'm X amount of age. I want to play football. I don't want to be number 2. Fuck that. I already have to sit on the bench for Germany. I don't want to sit on the bench, and I can't really talk to Stegen and Neuer. That's fair enough. I'm not sitting on the bench at Arsenal. I think Ramsdale's better than him because Ramsdale can catch a ball. Ramsdale does dumb shit at times as well. I love Ramsdale, but he's 23. He does dumb shit. Gets beaten too easily on his near post. I think sometimes his starting position isn't the best. Sometimes does the theatrics. You know, sometimes punches when he could have caught, or catches when he needs to punch, even though I think he's generally good at that age. I think his positioning at times, sometimes he's too slow off his line. He's off his line too much. These are things I expected a 23-year-old keeper to have. Because as I said, we didn't sign no one. That's the finished article. We ain't signed no Mesut Ozil in his prime. We're not signing no Alexis Sanchez in his prime. Even a Tutu Aubameyang where he's kind of been rubbed for time. Remember, Aubameyang used to be shit. Let's be honest. Done his thing at the club, just whatever club he was at, just before Dortmund, things started to work. So, yeah, man, I wouldn't mind Leno staying as number 2, but you can't expect him to. And he was probably going to move on last year. Things happened, it didn't bang. So, yeah, man, it is what it is. Really, where Leno's concerned, just hope these guys get a move on, because the window. You know, for transfers is obviously upon us. Obviously, the season starts earlier. Pre-season starts earlier. We have a World Cup. We know, everybody knows new contracts have been signed. Money has been spent / going to be spent. The gloves are off next season. So, and again, no matter where you look at it last season, you know, there's you can break down our season and obviously say game management, you know, not being able to stop the rut of poor form, naivety, street smartness, being up for games where the crowd is hostile, not scoring enough, conceding cheap goals. You can say all of these things were somewhat points in ours, points as to why our season in terms of top 4 kind of went down the drain. But then for me, I look at 3 specific points. You know, I think obviously last chance saloon, starting from back to front. Last chance saloon in the, you know, we bottled it against Newcastle and Spurs. We gave ourselves too much to go with. Obviously, not Newcastle, Palace away, and those 3 games we dropped. You could look at January and say, okay, if you can't bring in, don't let people go, or not let people go in the same in the first place. But then I also look at the start of the season. For whatever reason, COVID, injuries, whatever, the season we didn't start well. We might have still started well. We probably would have lost 2 of the 3 games. You know, I say 2 of the 3 because I think if preparation was better, regardless of how up for it Brentford were, we could have won that. Maybe that set a precedent, because I know it wasn't the same fit side and there was variables, but could you tell the difference between that performance away at Everton, even when we took the lead, Brighton where we drew, Anfield, City, Palace, these sort of hostile, Newcastle, Spurs, you know, these hostile environments, maybe the start of the season somewhat set the precedent, really. Maybe that's where it all went wrong, but honestly, I couldn't answer that. So, yeah, man, the quicker we do the business, the better for everybody concerned at this football club, really and truly. Out for the super chat. Man said, you're Tottenham friend of me from Hong Kong. Shout out you. I didn't even know you was based in Hong Kong. Shout out you, man. Which of your present players is going to improve the most next year? I don't have a clue. I can't predict the future, my guy. But I hope Saka continues to do what he's doing. I hope Martin Odegaard continues to do what he's doing. Martinelli, Smith Rowe, I'd bank on them. Let me say Lokonga, because I hope that he could, you know, I do think there's a lot of rough edges, but I think there's quality in that. Nah, man. I think Leno does some shit stuff. I think Leno, one thing I don't like about Leno is I think again, maybe not not in every game, but I just think, you know, when I put myself in the Sunday league shoes, when it's not going your way and you see your keepers are calming influence, that makes you calm, or when your keeper's bugging out, that makes you bug out as well. Do you think people draw out Leno a bit too much? So you're right in that regards. But yeah, I think we needed to move on from Leno. And I think Ramsdale's better than him. Ramsdale, I don't know if he's the finished article. Of course, Saka could improve his shooting. We did need to move on from Leno. Love Leno, but Ramsdale will be way better in and for the future. I hear that. Ramsdale's got shaky at the end, but at least he showed how good he can really be at such a young age. And I mean, every one of these players at Arsenal showed their age at times. There was good and bad moments from Odegaard. Times he went flat. Times he was playing better. Smith Rowe, Saka, Martinelli, you know, Ben White, Gabriel have had good and bad moments of form. I think Ben White fell off a cliff towards the end of the season. Not that he's been amazing, but this is what you expect when you have an average age of 23, 24, 25. You know, Eddie Nketiah, whether he got a chance or not, did nothing of note for a long part of the season, played his way into a 100-bag contract. Shout out to the young man. So it all depends, really. There's times Tomiyasu even fell off. And then obviously for the vast majority of the season, yeah, I think when people look back, I know Tini's got injured, but they'll put some respect on his name when Tini was fit. The market's open, bro. Trapp's done well, bro. He's won a European trophy. He was doing well before that. You know, all season I was saying, listen, Leno's in trouble. So, yeah, it is what it is where that's concerned, man. Ramsdale saved us bare times, man. Got to give him his props, even though sometimes he does a madness. I don't know who's the dark horse for the World Cup, because we're not there yet. I'd have to really sit down and think about it. Players that just improve us is who I'd want Arsenal to get, man, really. I've loved the Darwin Núñez or Osimhen, but seems like that boat's gone. Let's get into the transfer news, people. Keep all your thoughts and whatnot coming. Let's get into it, because we're going to be here for a minute, aren't we? Really and truly. Shout out you lot. Oh, say it before we do that. What's the laptop doing? You died? Come on, big homie. Say it, folks. We need to monitor what we're doing on Twitch. Let me just make sure the Twitch stream is all good and safe. Yeah, the Twitch stream is working. Shout out to you lot, man. On Twitch, behaving yourself. It says the stream is still healthy. So yeah, man, technical difficulties. But yeah, let's crack on, lads. Transfer news. Let's start, man. We've done a lot of chatting about Richarilson and shit. Nah, man, Ramsdale likes the punch. I mean, Leno likes the punch too much. That's one thing I didn't like, because obviously sometimes you're spilling it, really. But one thing I think he was done dirty is there's times where we've got smacked up and it could have been a lot worse, man. So yeah, moving all the way. Allegedly, let's wait for June. Brazilian star Richarilson admits he's weighing up his Everton future amid interest from Premier League rivals Chelsea, Tottenham, and Arsenal. People, the 25-year-old's become a cult hero. He's become a cult hero since his £35 million switch in 2018. Apparently he has said on international duty. And I mean, I hope agent Gabriel and Gabriel Martinelli are making sure they're gassing Gab Jesus and Richarilson. I've already made it clear to the board. I've already talked to the manager Lampard too, with my agents. Really and truly. Now I can talk, because when we talk about leaving a club, I'm kind of like this because of the history I have at Everton, the affection that the fans have for me. When we're talking about leaving, I'm a little speechless. Allegedly, PSG would have been keen on Richarilson if Mbappe had left for Real Madrid. Apparently, they're now assessing cheaper alternatives, people. Apparently, a number of European clubs are showing interest. Apparently, Conte's Spurs are eyeing up the situation carefully. But the thing is, are you going to play at Spurs? I think you'd be utilised. You'd play a lot, but Kulusevski's got the right-hand side at this moment in time. You're not playing ahead of Son on that left. And Kane is Kane, innit? Obviously, you could be part of the squad and whatnot. Chelsea, I don't know. I think Chelsea should just go for a goal scorer that's able to put themselves about. I think Chelsea need a Martinez, a Núñez, or something like that, really. You know, they've already got it wrong with Lukaku. I don't think they can get it wrong again. For Spurs, arguably, I wouldn't, the money that they're going to ask for Richarilson, I'd say Spurs are better off probably spending it in other regions. Chelsea, the same. Obviously, for Arsenal, I'm taking him because it enriches us, but it's another sort of rough diamond. And if you're, you've got two hands in it. If you've got diamonds and you're polishing the edges, there's only one thing you can do at a time. You can't have 10 in your hand and start doing that. And for me, I'm all open to Richarilson and for the squad and that, but then you're gonna have to develop him because he ain't got the strongest CV of goals. He has got double figures in the last few years. Jesus, the same logic. You've obviously still got young Saka, Martinelli, young Smith, 50 million Ben White, not there yet. Gabriel, not there yet. Ramsdale in goal, not there yet. Tavares, not there yet. Lokonga, not there yet. Littered around the squad, and whoever signs, you know, Telemans, if he signed, not there yet. You know, a lot of weaknesses defensively. So could it be worth Arsenal just getting 1-2 players that are kind of just less times required? You know, Richarilson has a wealth of experience at 25 years of age, you know, been in the trenches, you know, got a good mentality, I feel, you know, doesn't hide, you know, a bit of a bastard, which I think we could do with a bit of a physical outlet. I'd be open for it. The problem is the fee, 35 to 50, I'd be looking to pay that. Everton are probably going to want to make a profit, and you can't have him and Gabhazis, in my opinion. You rather that and then maybe go for a winger or something. I don't know, man, really. Richarlison's got a lot to like, but yeah, very hot and cold, man. He probably just needs a better thing. Age is a number in a footballing sense. Yeah, every other sense, I don't know. Richarilson cannot join us. He probably won't, but I don't know about that. Love for the super chat, my guy. Unexpected high bills. Hit the like button. Come on, my dude. Appreciate that. 171. You lot are playing it, man. Twitch gang, you lot are doing the business, man. You know, the talking point, everything is spot on. So that's Richarilson. It remains to be seen if Everton, will entertain letting Richarilson. Now, as G1 said yesterday, and I agree with him, 2 years, 18 months. That's the new 1 year. You know, it's cold feet time now. Is he gonna run down this deal? Is he gonna put pressure to be sold? You know, can Lampard gas him? Give me a season under me. Obviously, you've got the World Cup as well, which Richarlison's probably gonna go to, but maybe going to a new team enhances it. Maybe it weakens, because if you go to a new team where you're struggling to adapt for whatever reason, that may or may not cost you a place. I mean, I'm loving the Samba contingent at the Emirates. You know, we've got hella Portuguese speakers / yeah, man. I think probably better spent elsewhere, really and truly. So yeah, man, it is what it is. There's them links there, in it. I mean, this is just echoing the same thing. I think he's just said the same thing. So yeah, I think that's just the same thing. Apparently, Tierney spoke about a bit of the comments, but let's see exactly what Kieran Tierney said. I instinctively felt it wasn't right. Kieran Tierney opens up on gutting injury. Watch Scotland try and qualify for the World Cup. Now, again, I know players will always put their body on the line for their countries and club, but I would say, you know, for Arsenal, we've had to, at times, sorry, people, this needs its charger. Well, I'm not going to be able to pay attention on Twitch. Sorry, people, let me plug that in. Plug that in. Sorry, as I was saying, Gabriel, Tomiyasu, Partey, Tierney. Obviously, players play on with injuries, but I think we need to do better. And I think players have got to be sensible. It was always written in the stars when Partey came back, he was going to from bodied. Why he went off to play for Scotland, I don't know. I'll never, you know, it's country, it's national pride. The Scottish are proud. I'll never. It's not that. But you're injured. You're playing with injuries at Arsenal. You've gone off to an international tournament. You got injured. He's a dickhead. It's you, innit? Big up to you for scoring, and I love Tierney. You know me. That's our captain. I'll always back him. But you play stupid games, you're gonna win stupid prizes. Which, oh shit, what's that? What's going on with the mouse? The fuck? You're gonna win stupid prizes. Sorry, folks. What's going on with this? The fuck? Bare things are dropping as well. Bare things are dropping. This is carnage, people. That should be fixed. The fuck? You lot can't see, but I need to untangle all of these wires. Things are just busting and dropping and all these things. But yeah, as I was saying, in relation to Kieran Tierney, that's it. I can't, like, it's your fault you're injured, really. I do think you are injury prone, but a couple of your injuries have been like he bust his shoulder because of it during a football game. I think that's harsh to call a man injury prone. This one, you've been stupid, innit? You're the reason you're injured, really. Kieran Tierney has opened up on his gutting knee injury, which curtailed his season and sees him miss out on Scotland's pursuit of the World Cup spot this week. Scrolling all the way down to what the man specifically said. And then you said it, first sentence. I carried on playing for Arsenal, then reported for Scotland duty in March and played twice with no problems. I came back completely fine. Then I was doing some leg exercises in the gym and my left knee clicked. I instinctively felt it wasn't right and I should probably go for a scan. I wasn't in any great deal of pain. I played for Arsenal and we'd been winning. Then for Scotland, I got a goal and an assist. So I'd been nothing to worry about after that Wolves match. But the scan came back and suddenly I'm needing an operation. It was so unfortunate. And again, there was talk of you were injured. Why did you go off and do that? It was so unfortunate. But after that click, I just knew it wasn't normal. The verdict was 12 weeks and it was gutting when I realized the games I'd missed for Arsenal and Scotland. However, there was nothing I could do about it, which is true. You're my guy, but I mean, it's quite jarring. It's quite jarring. So, yeah, it is what it is. From one injury to another, I mean, somebody quite rightly pointed out Love Island starts next week. Ben White's pulled out of the England squad. I don't mind. Arsenal defender ruled out of England squad through injury. Ben White has withdrawn from the England squad due to an injury and will continue his rehab with his club. White was initially named in the 27-man selection for the Nation League's games. Apparently, Trent will arrive on Thursday after being in the Champions League final. And pardon me, so will Tierney, Trippier, Ward-Prowse and Raheem Sterling. So is what it is. England face Hungary on Saturday and also take on Germany and Italy. So there's that. Apparently, Arsenal facing a fight with League Two Crawley to keep highly rated coach Kevin Betsy after the fourth tier had shown interest in Chelsea women's boss Emma Hayes. Emma Hayes would have been quite the addition, people. And obviously, Kevin Betsy, that'd be a good job. But yeah, these men were advocating racist, man. Fuck Crawley Town, bro. Kevin Betsy, you don't say yourself out and do that. You're better than that, man. Arsenal are facing a fight to keep highly rated under 23's head coach Kevin Betsy, who is in line to become a new Crawley manager. I wouldn't begrudge you, especially as a black manager trying to make your way in the game and things, and it's a good opportunity. But boy, not them man there, man. Look at this pussy, you dickhead, man. Someone throw tomato at this shit, man. So yeah, there's that. Obviously, we spoke about Tierney. Apparently, in relation to Aaron Hickey, very likely farewell. Arsenal pressing heavily with 25 million euro offer to get early transfer over the line. He's off to Casa Amor. Silly game, silly prizes. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. If the updates coming out of Italy on Monday regarding the future of Aaron Hickey are to be believed, it won't be long before the defender ends up at Arsenal. The left back has been a target for the Gunners to bolster the defense ahead of next season, and there have been lots of reports on the matter over the past few weeks. One of the big moments was a claim that Arsenal had made a £25 million bid for the Scottish defender, or euros better yet, and there's a line continuously pushed by an Italian publication. The newspaper explains there is now a very likely farewell to be expected when it comes to Hickey, because the London side are pressing heavily with an offer of 25 million euros. And apparently they're looking for replacements. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see how this one develops. But it seems like we're making some progress in relation to probably getting Aaron Hickey at the carpet. Lucas Torreira now. Bloody hell, I can't understand Italian, but apparently, you know, Torreira, Torreira, what the fuck's going on here? Torreira returns to Arsenal. It is still talked, but it is difficult to see it in purple tensions in the change room. The Italian agreed. Google Translate is not helping. It's just saying that there's a twist. Again, the publication has somewhat helped us. Allegedly, Arsenal in transfer kitty blow with Lucas Torreira's 12.5 permanent move to Fiorentina on the brink of collapse. Arsenal looks set to miss out on the 12.5 million with Fiorentina after they're struggling to stump up the fee. Now, obviously, after excelling in Italy, do, you know, again, we knew he was always going to be in this scenario where he had a year left on his deal in the summer and they were going to try and put pressure on Arsenal and say, look, listen, his deal's running out. Give us another discount. Apparently, it's been thought that the Serie A outfit were willing to trigger their option to buy clause into Torreira's contract, and it would be a transfer welcomed by Arsenal. But it's now believed that the Uruguayan international is poised to return to England, with them obviously unwilling to fork out the 12.5 million. His agent said it doesn't look like happening. He said the chances of Lucas staying in Florence are very small, even if it's not over yet. The issue between him and Fiorentina is a contractual problem. It won't take much to clarify with Fiorentina, and my priority is to find an agreement with them. For now, he's not thinking about other teams because he's very happy in Florence and he's loved by the fans. The only problem is contractual. Agent commissions have nothing to do with it. According to this publication as well, Fiorentina have until Tuesday to thrash out an agreement with Arsenal, but they state it's unlikely that the Italian club will exercise their buy option. So we'll have to see really and truly what happens there. Scrolling all the way down here. Again, I'm sure you all saw, the former Arsenal social media don, or one of the current ones. He was kind of adding fuel to the flames. Samuel Gilbert shared a snap of himself pictured with the Bayern Munich ace. And obviously you saw him running jokes. I don't think you should be buying into it. But yeah, Arsenal are trying to negotiate a cut price deal for Leno. Sun Sport exclusively revealed that Arsenal are hoping to scrape 60 million together this transfer window. Apparently, we still haven't announced the club captain, and the curse continues. It's not really a good rap sheet, is it? Really? Out of all them, fuck this guy. De Jong prefers Gunners over Man United. Arsenal have advantage over over Manchester United in fight for Frankie De Jong because of his hero Mark Overmars. I don't think Mark Overmars is a name right now you want to be speaking about around the world due to what's obviously been going on, really and truly. But apparently he said, yeah, man, he allegedly said that. And it's brought back to what he said many years ago. He said, I actually thought Arsenal was pretty beautiful in the past. Arsenal, Barcelona, call it the Mark Overmars route. So this guy's getting 2 and 2 and getting 5. LENO'S available for loan. We just spoke about Fiorentina pulling out for an offer for Torreira. So yeah, people. Palmeiras have ruled out selling Danilo to West Ham or Arsenal. So yeah, this was it. Whether Gnabry signs in another thing. He's just running joke, man. So yeah, really. Once again, LENO'S available. Crazy stuff, man. So yeah, it's the same old in that regards. Closing that, Man City face battle to keep Zinchenko amid Arsenal interest. Allegedly, Arsenal are keen on Zinchenko, and the Ukrainian wants regular game time. Manchester City will have to convince Zinchenko he'll play more regularly if they are to fend off interest from Arsenal. I'll be real, I don't think he's a player to be doing that. I'm sorry, like, you're lucky to be at City. I don't think you're a bad player. 25 years of age, shown you can play left back. You are a good centre mid by trade, but you're not the guy for that. They're winning Premier League and bare stars. You're not the guy for that. I understand why you'd want more game time. They probably should bring in a left back. Obviously, they had not my man, but the madman that's fighting cases, and if convicted, and which he probably did that shit, should have jungle justice, but he'd probably be playing. Cancelo's form is there. Again, don't know if they're going to bring in another left back. I think the chairman of City today said expect more signings. They probably, left back is an area they probably could enhance and improve upon. Still at 196 likes. So I don't think Zinchenko, I can't blame you for wanting more game time, but it's as good as it gets for you. Like, you're not the guy like that. Like, you actually, your willingness to play left back is giving you a career there, but you can't play left back ahead of Cancelo. You're not getting into them. You're a good player, but you're not getting into the midfield with their options, and it's Man City, so they're always going to buy options. Of course, it looks like Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, Bear Dons could leave, so it could give you that, but I think you're chatting-ish. Man City don't have to convince you of anything. Player. Now, for Arsenal, I'm taking him. Would get a lot of game time in midfield, would make me a lot more comfortable if Kieran Tierney gets injured. Obviously, wealth of experience. At 25, he's coming like a veteran. He's played enough. He's been involved in the Champions League final, won league titles, won stuff, been in high pressure environments. We're a very naive team. We don't react to set. And just his footballing career, he's got what we're missing. So we'll have to see. I don't buy it. I think if we're lucky, we're only getting one in Gab Jesus, but I think we could do a lot worse. Despite the player's affection for the club, he would also like to play more regularly. He only started 10 of the 36 league games last season, obviously due to Cancelo's form. You know, I don't know if it would you. Is Arteta going to drop you for Xhaka? Maybe, maybe not. Are you going to play ahead of Tierney at left back? So it might be the same thing here, really. Why not? I'm all for Zinchenko, but I don't think it's a thing, man. Really, really and truly, I don't think it's really don't think it's a thing. Why not? But yeah, it is what it is in that regards. Really, like, let's move on. Moving on from Zinchenko, folks. Arsenal and West Ham have reportedly both kept tabs on exciting young Leo midfielder Amadou Onana. He looks decent, the 20-year-old. I wouldn't have been gassing it and saying to sign him now, but yeah, he looks set to earn a big move. He's been linked with West Ham and Arsenal. Decent ball carrier, decent passer, sometimes does some BS, you know, fairly quick. There's raw talent there in the 20-year-old, but I wouldn't say that's the person I'll be looking at this moment in time to do what I demand in midfield. But yeah, I mean, it's easy to link us with our Arsenal leading the race to sign French midfielder. Arsenal are leading the race to sign Lille midfielder Hossein Aouar, with multiple clubs also interested. Arsenal have been long-term admirers of Aouar, whose contract expires next summer. The French club may be inclined to sell Aouar this summer to avoid losing him on the free. According to RMC, Arsenal are leading the race, I think it says, to sign Aouar alongside Betis, Real Sociedad and Liverpool. The report claims that the club and Aouar have still hit a standstill in contract negotiations and Leo could sell him. I'm a bit tired of hearing about it. For all it's worth, I'd be open to it, but I cannot see it happening. I mean, no one cares about Matt Turner like that. Apparently, Cody Gakpo's PSV technical director has spoken, people. Apparently, they don't want his contract, his transfer speculation to run into, you know, past longer than it needs to. Really and truly. He's clear. Where is it? Apparently, he said it will not last until September the 1st with Cody. I don't think he wants that either. At the beginning of August, then things should be clear. So we'll see what happens there. Ainsley Maitland-Niles will not be signing for Roma. As you can see, Mourinho confirms Ainsley Maitland-Niles return, people. 6 months. He's picked up a European trophy there, but it ain't banged really and truly. So yeah, shout out to Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Got 12 appearances, 9 as a starter. Not really, you know, we're not really talking about that, but you're in the football career to win stuff and have moments. You've done that, so shout out to you. Apparently, we want to give Saliba a new deal, but Atletico Madrid, Leicester, Napoli, and Newcastle have all made inquiries. People, give us Fofana for Saliba, and we might talk. Arsenal plan to keep the French international this summer and will extend his contract. However, both the player and other clubs may yet have something to say on the situation. Apparently, Saliba meanwhile knows that this is a key moment for him with the World Cup not long away, and he's in the French club squad. Where he ends up next season and how much game time he receives will be pivotal. Bearing in mind, Arteta said he needs to be back next season. Apparently, he wants to remain at Marseille. Can't blame him, but it is what it is. I don't think Arsenal have set a 20 to 30 million euro asking price. You know, we wouldn't make our money back, which it probably is. Once again, Ainsley will return to Arsenal. They have no plans to make his move permanent, people. What is this? Apparently, Arsenal have been linked with I can't pronounce that Don's name, but he used to. Was he not in the Prem once? And is he not at Roma? Arsenal have been linked with him, people. His contract is expiring in 2024, and he's been told it will not be renewed, people. So that's probably where Arsenal's links in that article have come from. What's this? Come on, man. This is linked us with Talisio. He's a free agent, but that's a myth. I was reading that myself. Respectfully, Jack Wilshere. Big up Wilshere, but no one cares about the story anymore at this moment. What's going on here with the transfer news as well? Kevin Betsy's been linked with Crawley Town, as we said. The race hots up to sign Raheem Sterling. Arsenal have been interested, but when you got Real Madrid, Atletico, Barca, even PSG and Real Madrid, Bayern Munich as well, it's a myth. Once again, we're interested in signing Eddie Nketiah. I'm sure he's got great memories there. Apparently, Arsenal are trying to bypass PSV's Gakpo efforts. What does that mean? They have devised a scheme that would include a wage bonus and enticing contractual promises, with PSV chiefs prepared to elevate his status in the squad as their most important asset. Gakpo can collect a sizable part of the beyond this summer, and the club are willing to pay £34 million asking price. I mean, 34 million on him or whatever they ask for Richarilson, it might make more sense to try a thing. Morata's not keen on Arsenal. Hey, fella, you're not alone. We're not keen on you either, or at least the fans aren't. So trust me, fella, you're okay. Do what you're doing. Isco and Talisio are available, and they will be linked with Arsenal, but I'd rather go for Talisio than Isco, and I'd rather leave them both where they are, but who knows? Lacazette looks set to leave. According to reports in France, he's in talks with Lyon and Marseille. Do your thing. Once again, Fiorentina have 48 hours allegedly to complete the move for Torreira, or other things are happening. So, yeah, we face a battle for Aaron Hickey. West Ham and Newcastle are interested as well. Benfica are moving closer to signing Leno. Fabian Ruiz has been linked with Arsenal people. Napoli want to get rid of him. He's available for 25 million. Seems that he wants to play Champions League or return to Spain. So that may put us at a disadvantage. But, yeah, that's that. Part of B. Gnabry, I'm tired of hearing about it. Depay, allow it. So we'll have to see what's happening there, really and truly. But it don't seem like anything is happening, people, really. Once again, another article reiterating that we're linked with Aaron Hickey. But, yeah, it's just same old, really and truly, where the transfer news is concerned, folks. So, yeah, that's that. Bit of a slow news day. What are you lot saying in the comments? You think if Ainsley had stayed at the Emirates last season, he might have got an extra point or two? Not everyone can be a star. I do, but it's like, where do you stand? It's like the manager had Cedric ahead of you. You weren't really getting a look in midfield. So it's a no. It's 40 million minimum for me. If he's getting sold, this back and forth is BS. He can go. Who are you talking about? Oh, Saliba. Is there even anyone in the race for this guy? Well, they're probably capping, man. They're looking at Cucurella, so possible to get him in. DG, who would you sign? Ruiz, Tielemans, and Alwa? Out of. If you just gave me one, probably Ruiz, Probably Ruiz. But I do like Alwa, and we've gone so far, we might as well not turn back in it. Like, you might as well just continue with what you're doing. One love to the Twitch gang watching the ads as well. Make sure you're subscribing on Twitch as well. So yeah, I'd say that. Just trying to get clicked. But it'd be nice. Nah, I'd stay clear to this year. Maybe a new lease of life. We might be talking about how he looks a different player. Thomas Lemar has rejected a contract extension, free agent next season. Boy, I mean, that was someone, why not try? He could play as a midfielder, could play on the left. I wouldn't be against it. But yeah, man. Free agents are the thing. Just. What really went wrong with this past season, and how can we rectify it? Well, by being a bit more, by having more resilience, by having better game management, by improving in terms of scoring and keeping, and keeping clean sheets, by reacting quickly to setbacks when we've lost games, by not feeling sorry for us, by actually learning, by keeping our bottle and dealing with hostile environments, many things that we done ourselves. Jesus is far better than Richarilson, in my opinion, much more tactically aware. Of course, you would be playing for Pep Guardiola, don't it? Dominic Calvert-Lewin is more the player we need than Richarilson. I don't know if Gabriel Jesus is coming or not. We'll have to see, mate. Once he signs, we'll know a lot. But until he signs or he's holding the shirt, it's a myth. It don't cost anything to subscribe. Well, we don't talk anymore. Do you hate it, DG, when Rob Duns think they're too big to sign for your club? I don't hate it because, you got every reason to, but bloody hell, cheeky, aren't you? Cheeky, aren't you? 220 likes. Can we move towards 300 people? You agree that signing players that are more physically imposing is a priority? I do. If it was a benefit, I would like more physically imposing players up front and in midfield. But can we sign the right players first? You can be as strong as you want. If you ain't got this upstairs and you're not applying that, then there's never going to be a scenario you use any of that. At the end of the day, all Arsenal fans will not be happy by the transfer we've made. I don't know until the window's closed. We just speculate about these things. Good morning, DG. 2 to keep, then loan the rest from Balogun, Miguel, Aziz, I assume, Patino, Nelson, Sambi, Bellerin, Torreira. Well, Bellerin, Torreira, Niles, sold. Miguel Aziz will go back on loan. I think Balogun is best to go out on loan. I'd keep Patino close to the squad. You know, Nelson is probably best to go on loan or permanently. But yeah, between Nelson, Sambi, Patino, really, I think even Patino in January, I think we'll stay until Jan. Certain things might need to go on loan and develop. Would you take Souček? Nah. Gabriel, this is literally just a young Lacazette. Do we want that? I don't know about that, but bring him. Crazy. What else did he say? I know he wanted to leave. Do you see Torreira being used as cover by Arteta? No, that opportunity's gone in it. Unless Xhaka leaves, Xhaka's going to be playing all Lipa games. Partey is. You're going to bring in Tielemans. El Nene's cool with his 4 or 5 games a season in the league. Whether Lokonga stays or goes on loan is another thing, but this is it. And then you've got maybe a next midfielder that gets into the team. You have seen him start Odegaard and Smith Rowe literally on a handful of times as an 8. So Torreira's obsolete, whether it's technicality, mentality, attitude, adjusting to the country, or maybe Arteta I think Arteta for whatever reason, I just think Arteta's not convinced with Torreira. I just don't think he fancies him as a footballer, which is fair. Maybe he's a bit jealous. Torreira's got a bit more about him in midfield than he ever did. But fair enough. They have Vlahovic cash, but just because you got cash doesn't mean you should pay. Respectfully to them, I'd do the same to Arsenal. You know, like we all said that was going to happen last summer. You're going to get a man who's got 2 years left. He's going to come in the summer with a year left, and they're going to put pressure on you because he can walk for free. And you're relying on the club or his agent to get a move. I'd do the same. If I was Fiorentina, I'd do the same. I might eventually pay and stop playing a game of chicken, but I'd do the same. Arsenal need to sell players. Arsenal have a player that's going to walk for free. One of, if you look at out of everyone who done well on loan, Nelson towards the end, Torreira now, Brooke Norton-Coffey, Daniel Ballard, probably missing out a couple of names. But Torreira's had a standout loan. Saliba and Guendouzi, obviously. You're gonna have to sell him in it, really. I'm sure with a World Cup to happen, Torreira wants to sort his future out quicker rather than later, so that he can go in the best condition. Maybe he wants to stay. Maybe he was linked with Juventus the other day. Whether that happens is another thing. Maybe other Italian clubs happen. I'd do the same thing to Arsenal. If I did want Ainsley Maitland-Niles, I'd do the same thing. All them 2023 if I'd do the same thing with Leno, and you'd ask Leno to do his part and say he don't want to sit on the bench for Arsenal, we'd all do the same thing. We got into this scenario. So we're going to have to take ourselves out of it. I'd do the exact same thing. Great questions and talking points, people. Maribio gone Valencia doing quite well. Big up C. Like she said, let's make sure we're also hitting the like button. Don't know how people can turn their noses to Jesus. His quality, bring him. Matt Turner will push Ramsdale for the #1 shot. I hope so, but I've never seen him, so I can't. MLS tax. Where do you think this current Arsenal side could finish next season in the league, keeping in mind no transfers have been made? Well, if there's no improvements, then away from personnel, just in terms of street smartness, where you did, as I said in August, and I'll say it again, you can finish as high as 8th, or as low as 8th. If you don't sign anyone, I can't convincingly say getting top 4. I can't. Once again, not gonna lie, Ruiz just looks like another Lokonga. I take Prime Tielemans. I don't Danny on my guy. I don't know how you watched that and got to that, but all right. That's a weird one, but I hear that. What other things have I missed out? Where did you finish in FPL? We don't talk. Listen, it's not about where you finish. It's about next season. The season is finished. What I can do is we'll work hard to have a better season than last year. I don't think I got relegated though. DG, appreciate the grind every day, to be honest. I appreciate that. Ramsdale's kicking has been terrible for months, and Leno is a better shot stopper. That's all I'm going to say. I think the shot stopping is even. Ramsdale's a better kicker for sure. Obviously, he's had a drop off. I would love for Norton-Coffey to get full football, but let him go and play. Let him go and play football, man. Away from the hype. Let him go and play a lot of football, man. He's only had half a season on loan. But that's teams that all Gallagher has. Like, don't get it twisted. Gallagher's cultured on the ball, but he just seems a bit of a throwback centre mid. He's not deep lying playmaker, box to box. I'm just a centre mid, and I somewhat like that about Gallagher. I think he could get a role for himself at Chelsea, but if you're gonna play like first team regular, boy, that's another thing in it, and you'd have to earn that. And we're getting blasted for having some expensive shirts, some expensive season tickets. But like Darren Arsenal once said, except once again, this is absolute garbage. The reporter should report facts rather than making up nonsense. The Arsenal season tickets, unlike any other club, includes all Premier League games plus 7 cup games, which put Arsenal way down said list. But let's forget that fact, right? It's true, but the headline is what it is, man. Serge Gnabry hype. I ain't saying that. Once again, Man City will have to convince Zinchenko he'll play more next season if they want to keep him. Both the player and Man City are considering the situation this summer, and Arsenal are thinking about firming up their interest. I mean, get it done. Apparently, Zinchenko only missed 6 games through injury. And apparently City don't win the league without his impact against Villa. But that's why you bring these squad. That's why you have squad players, El Nene, Cedric, Leno, at times, these players have played their part. But the difference with Arsenal and City, beyond the obvious, we try to then rely on El Nene. City don't rely on Zinchenko. Origi's a cult hero at Liverpool. Take nothing away from what he's done, but he's meaty. Throughout the whole 38-game calendar, Origi is meaty. He's barely utilized. Why? Because they know sometimes he can do a thing for them, but he's a squad player. In terms of the 38-game calendar, he's not someone that you can rely on. That's one of Arsenal's biggest problems. Guys that are meant to be squad dons, we start trying to rewrite history and do different things with them when they're not cut out for that. I'm taking Zinchenko, but is he, wait, you could probably get a Champions League club knowing you. If you're on it and Arteta can do a thing, make it happen. Why not? Bring it, make it happen. If not, then Xhaka as a squad done. Late to the stream. How's the day going so far, DJ? Appreciate that, my guy. It's going well, man. Blessed to have you lot on Twitch and YouTube. It could be life, could be better, it could be worse, my G. And I appreciate all the support you lot consistently give me. Without you lot, it's dead. Who do you think Liverpool should go for since Mane looks like he's leaving? There's Nkunku. I mean, Gnabry seems a very easy one to do. I think he'll thrive in that system. He'll kind of, obviously, I can't disrespect what Mane is given, but Mane played as a false 9. Gnabry's done that. Can play on the left, can play on the right. German to German. Could do a lot worse. You've been linked with Osman Dembele. You could do that, but again, we all know the injuries, etc. Could look at Bukayo Saka, actually, really. You've been linked with Bowen. Of course, I don't know if Bowen can replace what Saka's doing, but these could be good additions. I think he's decent in midfield, but is Arteta going to drop out Xhaka, which would then make it a myth? I think I think we could do a lot worse. If we could get Zinchenko and TIELEMANS as midfield options, I don't think we go up a level, but yeah. Jack of all trades Zinchenko, but it's a tired acquisition. No, that's harsh, man. I don't think it's a tired acquisition. I think that's a bit harsh. Which of Martinelli, Saka, and Smith Rowe would you like to be seen giving more of a goal centrally? Well, Saka's a winger. Smith Rowe, I mean, if you're talking centrally, then yeah, I would like him in the 10. But I would say Martinelli up front is a project I still want to do, man. Man said Richarilson would be ideal. He's already used to being in the bottom half of the table. Pussy up. To be fair, we're 5th though, man. Not anything really of significance, man. White's better on the ball. I can't convincingly say anything else. Bro, we need subtitles. You're talking, not rapping. Of course, Josh, man. But your mum can't tell the difference, man. I'll tell you, I slowed the way down for her. That's how I talk, man. I tell you, I last a lot longer than that. I don't talk nearly as quickly as a fuck. You come for me, you go low, I go lower. Be easy, man. Sorry, mommy. You didn't deserve that. I'm gonna take my time, man. Trust. I wouldn't mind being a rapper, man. I know his sister watches the vids, man. I know you see Free Pooh Shiesty. I know you've seen Pooh Shiesty's video with Big 30, the song Neighbours, and you got them affluent folks. The joke writes itself. But yeah, cracking on, mate. Cracking on, mate. Once again, hi, mommy. Come on. Hey, you're a rapper. Hey, in fact, let me know. You see, the thing is, I'm too easily influenced. Let's stay on task, man. I'm a good guy. I'm just making mad decisions still. I was going to write a little 16. Doing vids all day. I'm stressed. Oh, I'm not. No, you're not. Let me not. Shit. Come on, man. I know your gal is one of them. Like, oh, you wanna get it first? I give her the roach and then you get it. Come on, man. Let's stop. Come on. I wouldn't be a bad rapper. Hey, Tion, shout me. You got a song called Deluded. We're both from Edmonton. We can all get out of the hood, man. I just want 2 rollies and some big just 2 rollies, bro. Just 2 rollies, cuz man said subtitles, bro. What a guy. Anyways, I wish you all the best, man. I wish you all the best, man. Do what you're doing. Don't use your mum's internet for foolishness. Anyways, moving on. Richarilson is too inconsistent. Story about he would fit right in at Arsenal, wouldn't he? Wouldn't he, really? Wouldn't he, mate? I remember when Ramsdale came in, he used to be a bit eccentric. Used to get on the opposition fans, celebrating in front of them. Keeps doing it, really. He looks too quiet in front of goal these days. Maybe he was instructed by Mikel Arteta. I can't say I've seen that, but I can't say I don't agree with that, but fair play, my guy. Just looks like everybody's confidence was shot towards the end of the season. And I think Ramsdale, I can see why you would say that, but yeah, man. We've just gone over that, my dude. I think Liverpool will go hard for Saka next season, considering Salah will also leave on the free. I don't know. I don't know if Salah will leave on the free, but we'll have to see. While the contract's running down, it's crazy. Crazy, man. What other stuff is going on? Apparently, Basuma's on Monaco's shortlist to replace Tuchemani, who's going Real Madrid. So that could obviously have a knock-on effect for obviously what we're trying to do in the market. Renato Sanchez seems destined to finally complete a move to AC Milan, which another one that was always linked with Arsenal, which ain't happening. Crazy. I hope he does. Saka should win Player of the Season. There's no contest where Arsenal's concerned. Saka should be Arsenal's Player of the Season. Everyone's allowed their vote, but yeah, 248 likes. We're moving. We're making progress, people. One love to you, lot. What time is my barber's appointment? 2:00. Bounce this road. Let's go. What else have we got? Richarilson is a perfect mixture between Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Jesus. Don't know why man aren't feeling him. I'm Brazilian and see him start every international game and go ham. I hear you, but mix between Jesus and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, it's a bit meaty still. That's dead flavors, man. Don't know. Keith kind of went through it, my dude. What's happening with Karim Adeyemi? Well, he signed for Borussia Dortmund, so he's probably in Germany. Saying Guten Tag and that, innit? Living his life, my guy. You man need to get a power sign in every name I'm hearing is meaty so far. I mean, that's just who you can attain, innit? Get meaty dons together, get them overperforming, and then we might be able to. I miss the days when we used to grab a little Sammy and Nasri, little Sandy Cazzola, Hileb and that, Rosicki and that. We used to have humble duns. I didn't even unpopular opinion. Alex Song was shit, very overrated, but I miss him. Gassing up DMs for doing assists. He was shit, man. We used to fleece club somewhere. Shit. Sorry, you're gonna have to kill me. Little Bakayi Sagna as well. Just consistent dons. Obviously it's harder today for whatever reason, but yeah, man. I didn't say it. You're not listening. You're not listening. We used to sign guys from humble beginnings. You're not listening. Do you think we're trying to get Hickey or Zinchenko? I'd happily take both and loan out Tavares if need be. It all depends. If Zinchenko's going to play more in midfield, then there's scope for both. I'd rather that because obviously I don't really want Saka to play left back ever again unless there's mad scenarios. But the option of Saka doing his thing on the right and left hand side and playing as a left back, Zinchenko playing all the time in midfield he wants, and obviously Aaron Hickey can play left and right back, would make me feel a lot easier if the inevitable injury to Tierney happens. Pardon me. With Mane leaving, I think Martinelli will be a target for Klopp, sadly. He's always talking about him. Pausing, gassing him up, so why not? I miss the days when Arsene Wenger. Do you remember when we used to say stop playing all these bloody midfielders? He used to force. It used to be he would have his three midfielders and then he'd force, like one would be forced out wide. It might be Wilshere, it might be Santi, it might be Ramsey. He would just force a playmaker outside. Off topic, Benzema's won Champions League Player of the Season, deservedly so. Should win the Ballon d'Or, which he deserves. I mean, Fernandinho's officially ended his time at City. I mean, could try a thing. Wouldn't mind Gundogan, but again, Gundogan, you want to spend your best, well, the last couple of years you got left as a footballer doing Project Rebuild. I hear that. Or could it be worth going back to your homeland, trying to go to Spain and play for one of them big clubs, whether that's this season for a cut price in the summer or running down your deal? I don't know. It's up to him. So, yeah, I'll definitely take him. Shout out the Americans locked in. I mean, outlets are saying it. Until I see it on Sky Sports or I see Hickey holding a shirt, it's all subjective, really and truly. So, yeah, I wouldn't go as far as to say it's confirmed. But, yeah, 254 likes we're doing that madness. He should get his... I mean, Kevin De Bruyne strikes you as a coach. A part of bare of them players. You know, it won't bear players, whether they've been at Bayern Munich, whether they've been at Barca, whether they've been at City, or any other paths that Pepper's crossed with someone. Of course, they're going to go and do management. You know, Wenger had a couple people going into management. Fergie had a couple people going into management, etc., etc. So, yeah, man, it wouldn't surprise me, really. You know, I look at in Arsenal's team, when Wilshere was here, he was getting his coaching badges. Rob Holdings got his coaching badges. Maybe these guys are just getting it just to... You know, there's probably people who know they're going to be coaches, and then there's probably people who not quite sure what they're going to do after their post-playing career. So they'll, you know, expose themselves to maybe trying to hand that coach. You know, I like it or I don't know. You know, I think Kevin will be a manager, but he might say, I just want to be a coach or I want to do this or that. Can't lie, I didn't see Rooney being a manager. I did, because of the way he speaks about things. You could see him being a manager. I wouldn't say I see Cristiano Ronaldo being a manager, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Cedric or Xhaka becomes a manager. I've always said I want Cesc to become a manager. I've got this in my head that, again, it's just a dream that obviously Wilshere didn't fulfill his potential as a footballer. So maybe that will give you your drive as a coach. The prodigal son returns back to Arsenal Football Club and manages us to the Premier League one day. But, yeah, the cookie ain't going to crumble like that, innit? The dream doesn't quite work like that. I mean, Ballard, just keep it moving, bring someone in or not. 25 million is a bit steep. 25 million euros. Arsenal have and can do a lot worse. Not a fan of all these City castles being linked to Arsenal. I mean, I don't see how you can. You can't, because Gabez, Zinchenko, Gundogan, these guys improve our team. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind if we can get cast-offs. Odegaard was a cast-off from Real Madrid. He ain't set the world alight, but yeah, man. Wilshere won't be a good manager. He said Declan Rice is best DM in the world. To be fair, Sir Alex Ferguson said Phil Jones will be the most important player in Man United's history. So, you know, sometimes the managers smoke a bit of weed, bro. He should be afforded more time. If Richarilson comes, does that mean if Richarilson comes, does that mean Gab Jesus is not? Probably, but you never know. I don't think we're getting Richarilson for what it's worth. Trust. But yeah, on that note, people, I can't lie. appointment to get to for 2 o'clock, so I'm gonna have to cut this before we're late. Obviously, it's been fantastic being here with you lot, people. Make sure you're checking out the other live streams and the timestamps that come with those streams. There'll be some cut up clips resurfacing today, so obviously make sure you're having a butchers. I appreciate you lot listening to me talk, offering talking points, getting questions in, going over the transfer news, hitting the like button, supporting on Twitch. It's all appreciative. I'm appreciative of it, and I appreciate it all. One love for everybody who's obviously watching the ads on Twitch. Don't think that's that. I don't know enough about the RB to from a non-playing perspective to say be a good or bad manager. But yeah, appreciate you lot for tuning in. You lot stay blessed, stay safe, stay healthy, stay attacking what's ever left of your goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, aspirations, and that. I'm out. There's always that actual red flag. I think it's like